All right. You know how I preached about the forgive, don't seek revenge, but forgive. Well, I really, I was really, really late that night, like 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't know. And this is sort of like a part two of it, but yet this is its own video as well. And I'm going to tell you how to love your enemy and why you should love your enemies. All right, I'm going to start giving some really whacked out, crazy examples. Okay. All right. Say you're married and you come home from your job, whether you're the wife or the husband, and you walk in to see your wife or husband committing adultery, having sex with someone else. Okay, you're gonna go nuts and off the wall. All right, that's gonna crush you, right? But yet somehow it happened because you could handle it, because God does not trial us more than what we can handle. So here's part two. All right. So say you have a girlfriend and you're a boyfriend, or you have a boyfriend and you're a girl. You know, teenage love, young adult love. Okay, here we go. Okay, say that one of them went to a party and got completely obliterated, all right? Or went to the bar and got completely obliterated, completely drunk, all right? And if you're a teenager, maybe you're on a break with that person because you really don't, teenagers don't really understand how to, I mean, you're in the process of learning what a relationship even is. I mean, let's be honest here. So, like, say you go on a break with your girlfriend, or say your girlfriend goes out with a group of girlfriends, okay, and they get drunk, and then some dude slips a date rape drug, or some dude takes advantage of them just because they're drunk and they don't know what's going on, and say they have sex with them, and you find out about it or something, and so pretty much the guy rapes the girl, or the girl rapes the guy, and you're the boyfriend or girlfriend of that person together, or on a break. Teenagers call it breaks, adults call it separation in a marriage, or even separation in a relationship. That's a pretty damn hard trial to get past.
You're exactly right, man.
But if it happens to you and you're saved, you're a pretty damn strong person, because God doesn't trial you more than what you can handle. You see what I'm saying? I'm coming back to this. God doesn't give you more than what you can take. So that's number two. Here's example number three. All right, you're a kid or a young adult, and your parents are in a abusive relationship, and like say the father beats the mother all the time, and you're a kid and witness that, or you're a young adult and you witness that. Wow. And you're a Christian? That's probably the deepest thing that could happen. And then, along with divorce, when both parents separate or get divorced, and you're the child, for whatever reason, God allowed that to happen in your life because you could take it. And if you don't think you can take it, well, I mean, you really can, because it happened. And It says in Scripture, if you're not strong enough to handle a certain trial, you won't be given it, okay? So whether you think you were strong enough, it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what God knows. And God knows you were strong enough, so He allowed you to have that happen.
That, and you don't have to be the strong one. You can take it to God.
Exactly. Take all this to God. But then you have the free will to commit suicide, or do something really dumb, or go, kill one of those people that
God don't make you do that.
Yeah. And I mean, no, and that's what I'm going to explain.
Yep.
I mean, you can go and murder that individual who cheated on your husband or wife, and you can go murder that person who raped your girlfriend or boyfriend, or you can go kill the parent that was beating the other parent. But you see, that's free will. God gives us free will to commit sin, and that is evil. And I don't know. I mean, to me, that's really bad, and you're going to get into a lot of trouble with that. But I mean, again, that's your free will. So, and you decided to use sin and evil to deal with that, rather than taking it to God and Jesus, as Kenny stated. So my whole point here with these examples, these extreme examples, or a burglar breaking in and murdering your whole family but leaving you to live, like just crazy stuff
That could happen.
that could happen. or your baby or child being kidnapped and murdered, or kidnapped and raped and then murdered, or whatever. This really sick stuff that's on the internet and on the newspapers that you read. It's sad, but it happened because evil and sin is prevalent in the world, and for whatever reason, you apparently can handle that.
And God knew you could handle it.
And that you overcome it.
In the Bible, doesn't he say, test my servant Job?
Yep. Job got screwed with tremendously, and he passed, and that's what I want to come to with this. Not only did he pass, but here's the thing, okay? With those people, each one of those situations, of examples that I gave you that happen every day, daily in this world, the one thing that we're supposed to do, and it's the hardest, and Jesus tells us, and he calls us to do this. Jesus asks us to love our enemies and to forgive them. For if we judge them, we will be judged by his Father and himself at the great white throne judgment. And that's gonna suck. Like you wouldn't believe. If you judge that person or take it into your own hands, especially after you're saved, God's still gonna be upset with that. You know what I mean? So what you have to do is you have to forgive the raper, you have to forgive the murderer, you have to forgive the wife beater, you have to forgive the child abductor, you have to forgive the child molester, you have to forgive the child murderer. We have to. Dude, I'm serious, and I'll be honest, it's the hardest thing in the world to do. I know it. I know it for a fact. It has to be.
You don't want to have faith that they're going to be condemned, but you should know that God isn't going to let them get away with it.
Yes, God is going to either trial them like you would not believe.
I wouldn't sit back and, you know what I mean, Jake? You don't want to sit back and be like, oh man, I hope they get this and that for it.
Yeah, to wish for torment or torture
bad.
or that.
Then that makes you guilty.
But here's what you can do with that. You can have faith in Jesus and God that justice will be served and that they will take care of the situation.
Very good, buddy.
If they're not saved, they're damned for hell. Yep. And I think being in hell forever as a consequence of, not failing to accept Jesus is gonna be worse than any possible act or actions you can commit in this world. Trust me on that. I have a firm belief on that nothing in this world that would happen could ever compare to the sick, crazy torment of hell forever.
Look at his face, people. He's serious.
I'm serious. There is nothing you can do in this world that's worse than hell. I know that for a fact. I'm positive for that. You can argue with that with me if you want to. Trust me. I don't even want to step foot inside of hell or even have a glimpse of it or even think of it. I don't like that. Now, I'm not scared of Satan or his demons or any of that. But I am scared of
one master.
I am scared of hell, and I am scared of being away from God for eternity and forever. So you just have to learn to forgive and do not seek revenge, and then to love that enemy and to forgive them and to forget. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you why to forgive and to forget. Because if you don't forget, Satan's demons are going to torment your mind forever. And if you don't believe me, if you know anybody that has gone through any of these situations or something so dramatic and drastic in life that is completely sick and disturbing, and they do forgive and they do forget, well, if they don't forget, then I'm sorry, they really didn't forgive. Yeah. Because if they didn't forget, then they really didn't forgive either. Because if you don't forgive and you don't forget, especially if you don't forget, demons will remind you of that tragedy or sick event, no matter how twisted it was. They will haunt you or your mind for a long time.
They'll remind you in many ways.
They'll remind you of many ways, and it will be very, very sad and disturbing.
And it's harder the second time through. It's harder to you thought you beat it once and the demons bring it back. It's harder to get over it the second time.
It's harder to get over it the second time, yes, and the third time and the fourth time, no matter how many times you jump.
So you have to forget.
You have to forgive and forget. I'm going to tell you why, okay? Because, yes, you're going to remember it even through the judgment more than less. But then when Jesus wipes your tears, I believe that is symbolic for him erasing that too.
Yep.
So wiping tears in heaven, to me, translates forgetting it altogether. Like, you won't even have the memory in the new heaven and the new earth to even remember it. So I want to end with that. Love your